I was listening to videos while I was working on this project yesterday, and I watched Nicole Northgarden's video where she challenged everyone to do a Get It Done challenge, and I thought, you know, I'm in the middle of this project. I might as well try to video a little bit and hopefully video the results when I'm done. It might be something somebody might want to check out. Also, make sure you check out her channel and go to the playlist and check out everybody else's Get It Done challenge. It's fun to see what people are doing to take up their time while they're stuck at home. I've been stuck at home for about 4 weeks now, and I had been doing a lot of outside projects. And we had the week of Easter, we had tons and tons of snow, and I was inside too much, and I thought, you know, I really need to do this kitchen cabinet paint job. We bought this house about 10 years ago, and we put off the kitchen for last. It was a foreclosure, and we pretty much redid the whole entire house. I don't know why we put the kitchen off to last, because that's where we spend most of our time, but we always seem to do that. But I have decided to repaint my kitchen cabinets. We thought about just doing a whole new kitchen, but I just don't have the time and energy right now to redo a whole new kitchen. The cabinets are decent. They're just ugly and very hard to keep clean. So I decided to repaint the cabinets, which led into repainting the kitchen, which is going to lead into redoing at least the dining room and probably the living room, which is, I'm crazy. Why have I decided to do this? But let me start off and show you what I'm doing. I've done one side of cabinets over here already, but I wanted to show you why I'm repainting these cabinets. Like I said, this house was built in '78, and I think these are the original cabinets. The people that had this house before us did a lot of weird stuff. So I can tell they painted these cabinets with this like slick, shiny paint, and just so I don't know if you can see up close, but they're filthy. I scrubbed them down with bleach. They're just hideous, and these knobs are hideous. And when you open them and look, this is really my junk cabinet. They're dark inside. I just can't stand them. And like this one here, this is the worst cabinet. I never really even hardly use it. It just stuff gets stuck in it. But when you open it, it's dark. You can't see anything. And it goes back in there. But anyway, maybe you can see I have a bright kitchen window here, and it's bright this morning. But they just weren't painted good. There's drips and stuff everywhere. There's dirt. There's this shiny stuff that looks like it has yellowed over the years. Like I said, I scrub them down all the time, but they just don't look good. That door is actually hanging kind of sideways. And when so anyway, I decided to paint them. So I also decided to repaint the walls. This wall is kind of a green color that kind of blends with this countertop here. And another part of the wall is a taupey color. But as you like right here. So when I started painting the one side of the cabinets, I decided to paint blue in the kitchen. That right there is just one coat where I was cleaning off my roller. So it'll get another coat, and of course it'll get trimmed in, but I'm just showing you so you can see what colors I had. Originally it was the brown and the green, and they looked good with the counter. I painted a house when we bought it, but they matched the counter. I don't know if we're going to end up having to get new counters too. But like I said, painting the cabinets led into everything else. This light fixture, I hate it. It's a cool fixture, but just not for this space. You can see it. It looks like it belongs over a table. It blocks the window. That's going to come down and get replaced with just a small little light up there. The trim around the window is going to get painted white, and the window sill. But yeah, I have made the mistake. I love blue, and I loved this color, but the minute I started painting it, compared to the rest of my house, it is a cool color. The rest of my house is warm colors. So I'm probably going to be repainting a lot more because I just like it better, and I'm ready for a brighter space. But this side here, I have painted the walls here, and I have painted the frame of the base of this cabinet and inside. It was also all brown and dark inside. I'm just kind of playing with putting some of my dishes back. I have the doors for this cabinet and this cabinet painted, and I'll show you those. I'm just not going to put them back up until I get pulls, because I don't want the cabinet door being touched without pulls. As you can see here, the drawers don't have pulls, and they had these hideous pulls. I'm going to replace with like a black, just a black straight pull. This cabinet, I decided not to paint inside, but you can see the brown back there. That's what all of them look like. I just love that look so much better. I am going to finish, though, putting some contact paper in there. Just that's where my pots and pans go. But I'm debating on doing a pull-out pot and pan holder or something. But let me show you how I'm doing the cabinets. And this is real life, guys. So this is my messy garage. So I'll take each door down and drawer out in the kitchen. I'll bring it outside here into the garage. I've been sanding and cleaning. I'll wipe it down with like a degreaser or ammonia first, and then sand. And I've just been using sandpaper that we have. Okay, so I was saying, I just used sandpaper that I had. The best one I found to start with is the 60. It's a strong, rougher. It gets gets it started. And then I ended with like a 150, like a finishing paper. And that's done a very decent job. If I didn't get that in the other part of the video, these sanding blocks work really well too, to get like, unfortunately, my cabinets have a lot of lines and indentions and things. I prefer just straight line stuff, but it is what it is. I don't really want to buy new cabinets. Check out my vintage bike my husband got me for $10. It's kind of a yellow with some teal wheels. I want to get a I'm looking on eBay for a vintage basket to put on it. Anyway, so let's go down and I'll show you where this is the garage where I'm standing, and then I'll move to the basement to paint. Alright, normally I would have been doing all that sanding outside, but like I said, we had a lot of snow, and it just too much snow to like shovel to move outside. But then I'll come down in my basement. These are two doors that are finished. It's probably hard to see them up close, but I just put a card table down here with some cardboard, and I just lay the doors on the table. And the best way I found to do it was, this is the one of the doors over the refrigerator. Maybe you can see. It actually has worked out really good. I bought a Behr cabinet and trim paint, and I'll show you that can upstairs. And I just did, I think, 4 really thin coats. But the best way I did it, found to do it was, I did the back first. And then, because of the edges, and that's, the edges, if you can kind of see, they blend together. I didn't want those drips and stuff. That's where a lot of times where you would get them. But what I found the best works for me was something like this. I had stilts from my kiln. After I did the back, I would flip it over and sit the board on these, and it would elevate them enough to where I could get around the edges and then do the front. So this is another one. I think they turned out fairly well. Hopefully when I get them put up and I can show you guys. I mean, considering these are, late 70s cabinets, they're not going to look perfect, but for, I watched a million videos on people redoing cabinets and all the work, all the money, and then I found that they didn't last and look well that long. So far, I have been very impressed. This paint, I actually upstairs on the base, I did the scratch test, and it did not scratch off. And I was trying really hard to scratch it off. And even just if you get this paint on your hand, like normal wall paint, it pretty much washes off easily. I had to scrub this off with a brush off my hands, so that just made me think, well, this paint is really hard to get off, so hopefully that's a good thing and it won't scratch. I did pay extra for it, but I figure it's worth it for this project because you don't want to do all this work and then have it all just scratch right off. Like, I know there's probably a lot of you out there, and I am very guilty. I love looking at painted furniture where people use the chalk paint or whatever, and they'll paint an old buffet a color or a cabinet, and then I have many times gone in a shop or a thrift store and seen one, and you guys are probably guilty too. I have many times tried to scratch it somewhere, where in the back or something, or you know, to see if the paint would scratch off. I'm probably not the only guilty one, because it usually does. And who wants to pay, you know, that much money for a piece if it's just going to scratch off with normal wear and tear or normal use? And our cabinets get used a lot. So, like I said, I tried scratching this off and it did not scratch off. So I was glad about that. Here's another one. So here, down here, I've got, and I've just been using the stuff down here with a cardboard box to elevate it and just moving it around as I paint. And I'll leave a little note, like how many coats this one's had or what it needs. Because once you start taking them off and doing more and more and moving back and forth, you know, you're going to forget. So I would leave a note like 1 coat on the back, 1 coat on the front, 2 coats on the front. But I've pretty much done 3 coats on the inside of the cabinet door and 4 coats on the outside. And I think that's all that I really need. But then I'll go up and show you the paint I'm using. Alright, so I am lucky. I do have a sink in the basement that I can rinse and clean all my paint brushes and things off. But, see, I still have to have my coffee. This is a mess. My house is a mess. It's Behr Premium Cabinet and Trim Enamel. This color was Polar Bear. And it was about, actually, here's the receipt right here. It was pretty